Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It is now almost 2 p.m. on Wednesday, May 17, 2023. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. And I wanted to provide a second update on this case study here on the supply and demand, or actually demand in this case. And again, guys, what we're looking at, I'm not going to rehash everything. The last two videos I made, one earlier this morning, a brief one, and then the one from last night, which is the setup. You can go back and review those. But we were looking again at, on this pair, excuse me, this is not a pair, this is the, this is a futures asset. Again, this is the Dow, E-mini Dow. We were looking at this area down here being a potential demand area. Okay, and then we can see we pulled out of this area last night, as I mentioned this morning, and I was asleep during this time, so I missed this initial run up right here. Okay, so this happened during the overnight session where I have my pointer right now, and then when the market opened this morning, it began to push down, and we had this basically liquidity grab right here. This is where the large banks and institutions push price down. Okay, and try to suck people in to go long right here, to go short, and to also potentially stop out anyone who maybe had sitting on a long from the U.S. Open this morning, and so they pushed this one candle down. This is a pretty big hit right here. It doesn't look like much because it's an hourly chart, but this is a lot of points. Okay, and then you can see what they did once they hit this bottom. The market just took off after that. And you can see I got in right here at this green dash line. I just wanted some confirmation, so I threw a trend line on here, and as soon as this candle closed, I took the long. And it was a little bit of a late entry. I suppose I could have gotten in down here, but I also was paying attention to some of my Forex trades, so I didn't really see this right away. But anyways, I had a price alert sitting here from earlier. And so when I got that alert, I just jumped in straight away, and that's where we sit right now. And you can see we went up and made a nice run up here. Now we are kind of running into some resistance here at the top, basically at this area right up here, which is a potential supply zone. So I'm going to watch this closely. If we go to a short time frame, we don't really have any bearish price action. So this is the 15 minutes. So here we are at this area looking right now. We came up again to this high, and we're sitting right at these levels from this previous zone up here, which I suppose you could say is maybe a little supply zone. You can see we've run right into that. Okay, and price is now reacting off this area. Okay, so I don't know what it's going to do from here. I'm going to hold this trade open at the moment, but if I see any really impulsive move to the downside here, like the sellers have really stepped back in, then I will exit this trade. If I put a depth of market on here, which I know you guys can't really see, but off to the left here, it's kind of like just telling me how many contracts are being bought and sold at certain levels. And it's pretty even right now, so that's why the market's kind of stuck. It's kind of fluctuating between pretty much an equal number of buys and sells at the current price between 33,519 and 33,517, kind of that 2-point spread there. Okay, and so there's nothing really to do with this right now, but the main thing, guys, I just wanted to show you this how this worked out. And again, guys, it's exactly what I said last night. If you go back to last night's video talking about this impulsive move up and then this slow slog corrective move down, where this move down from this high down to this low took more than three times as long as it took for it to go from this low to this high. Okay, so if you measure the number of candles going up to here versus the number of candles going down, starting here down to here, this is 3 times the candles. That alone, and just by looking at this, you can see we have a lot of overlapping, choppy price action that, we have some impulsive move down, then it corrects down. It's a correction, right? There are lower lows and lower highs here. And I suppose you could have traded this on the way down, but I'd rather just wait for it to get into the zone, and it tends to be more impulsive moving back up. And so that's how I kind of looked at this whole thing. So that's where I'm at right now, and I just wanted to update you guys on where this trade was at and show you guys that this is definitely a powerful way to trade. And you can see I have no indicators on the chart other than just drawing tools, which is nothing. Just rectangles and a trend line here. And that's all I use. You see there's nothing else on the chart. I do have the depth of market up over here, which I know you can't see. It's off to the left of my screen. That's built into MetaTrader, and it just helps kind of show you the volume of buys and sells going on real time. And it can give you some insights into what the price might do based on that action. And like I said, right now it's pretty even. But I'll keep an eye on what it's doing right now, and if it looks like the sellers are going to take over here, then I'll just exit this position where it is, and I'll take a nice little profit off the table. But from a longer term standpoint, I do think this thing has some more upside to go. If we take another trend line here and maybe put it across these highs, or even if we skip this high, well, it doesn't really matter. This is why trend lines are not very good, right? Because they're so subjective. But no matter how you draw this trend line, I do think that we're either have broken to the upside, or we'll either kind of retest and then keep going. But I do think we've seen, no matter how you draw this, if you put it like this, across these highs, these two highs, we only have two that we've broken out, but we could come back and retest this trend line from the upside, which, is possible. And if you draw it from the secondary highs here, this one, this one, this one, it really doesn't change anything down here. Again, we could see a retest back into this trend line before it goes higher. But I think overall, just based on the zone that this came back into, that this price is going to continue higher. It might not be today. Again, we might have profit taking. Right? We are, into the mid-afternoon part of the session. 2.5, 3 hours to go here. The liquidity, the volume does tend to dry up, and there does tend to be more profit taking happening in the afternoon, which would push the price back down in this case. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But guys, just overall, I think this is a fairly bullish asset right now, and like I said, whether I hold this trade much longer and then just look to maybe re-enter tomorrow, that remains to be seen. I'll just kind of keep an eye on it the rest of the afternoon here and see what it does. If it continues, if it breaks out of this resistance zone where it's sitting right now, then the next layer would be, right here. We've got all these little supply zones where it could get hung up. There's another one right here, a little bit above there. You can see this impulsive move down that would happen here. Then there's another one up here. There's we had this little impulsive move down right here. So that's another zone. So in terms of profit taking zones, if it gets through here, we got one here, and then the main one I really would love to see this get to at some point, at a minimum, is way up here. Okay, this is kind of the one that I'd really be shooting for, but that's a long way off. That this would take a day or two at least to get up to here. Well, maybe not a day or two, but at least one day to get back up to here. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, I just wanted to provide an update. But if you have any questions on this, please go ahead and drop them in the comments section. And please smash that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, as I always say. And smash that subscribe button down the lower right-hand corner. Ring the bell notification so you get notified when I post new content, which is not a lot. So you won't be getting constantly bombarded by me. But if you have any questions, just let me know. But again, guys, a nice setup here. Worked out pretty much exactly as expected, even with the late entry. From just, again, a supply and demand and coming into key levels, in this case, a demand zone, which is a buy level, whereas a supply zone is a sell level. So, all right. For instance, this up here could be a supply level, right? Price gets in here, hits this area, and then goes back down. And demand is when price, rallies out, comes back into that area. That's a demand level, which could send price up in this case. All right. Anyways, guys, I'll leave it there. And again, questions, comments, leave them below. Hope you have a good rest of the day, and we'll talk to you all soon.